Okay, generally, why do we do planning? Planning is a process. It would guide implementers on what to do, who will do it, when to do it, how much funds are needed. Plans are prepared for submission for funding, particularly generally we do not have funds and we need funding agency, so you need to have a written plan so that to convince the funding agency to give you the money. Basis for monitoring, documentation, and evaluation. You do not know what to evaluate if you do not have a plan. And then basis for performance evaluation. How do you perform? Is it better, good, best? How would you do that? It should be based on what has been planned. It plans minimize errors and failures in implementations. They will not be all perfect, but the fact that you have thought of or you have conceptualized or you have uh, go to the go on the process of thinking about it, it could minimize errors, no, during the planning process. Plans are basis for fund allocation, as we have already discussed. Plans inspire people to work hard, particularly when they're able to see the fruit of what they have planned. They motivate and challenge people. It justifies hiring of people. If you need human resources for your project, it should be based on the plans. So it would justify whether you would have to hire one person or two or how many. It could also specify qualifications of these persons to be hired and how many persons to be hired. Plans can be used as basis for revisions, improvement, or even stoppage or termination of the project. So, um, based on the plans, there could be some revisions. There are things which could not be implemented anymore, so we need to revise, or we need to add some more because that is what has been planned are not very effective. So need improvement or stop it because it is not working. And last one, our plans are made for optimum utilization of human, physical, financial, and institutional resources. We would like to optimize. There is no such thing as unlimited funds and unlimited resources or sky is the limit. We have always people will say limited funds, we're constrained by finance or funds. So we need to optimize utilization. Even our human resources, our physical, the buildings, the financial and institutional resources. So reasons for planning. I would like to zero in on planned change. As I have already mentioned previously, there could be unplanned change, which are most generally are nature caused by nature. For example, change as caused by typhoon or change as caused by earthquake, which are not planned, and even earthquakes are not predictable. There just could be implications or indications that it might have there might be earthquake soon or hopefully not, but they could not be planned. What we could actually control are planned changes. That's why, as I repeat, extension is planned change, is a planned intervention. So what's the importance of planned change? Increase productivity, as we have already mentioned. We need to improve productivity because poverty is rising as a result of the pandemic. The Philippines is actually on the negative growth, or I don't know, reduced growth rate. They have planned for a higher growth rate, but nobody planned about the pandemic. So we need a plan change because we need to increase productivity. We need enhancement of quality. Based on our product now, we need to improve that. We have to make another plan for a better quality of our product to enhance quality. Facing competition. There is stiff competition, even your own expertise, your own abilities, your skills. You need a lot of we have a lot of competitors. So we need to plan for a change. We need to enhance or harness our skills. That's why we're after college we would like to go on advanced degrees. That is, we would like to be more competitive. So you plan for that change. technological changes, and there are many. And after this pandemic, there will be revolutionizing technologies and new normals, so to speak. And in customer satisfaction, customers before are just satisfied of having this product, but now they are uh, what is that, requiring or claiming for higher than that, better than that. They need, they demand, customers demand is different, is higher, is what is that? So we need to satisfy this change in customer satisfaction. And there is also expansion of the market. It's not just this market. There are new products, different in different areas, different demands. So there is a huge expansion of the market. So we need to to include that in our plan. Satisfaction of the owners. It's not just satisfaction of the customers who would buy or would use or our product, but even the owner of the agency, the owner of the enterprise, the owner of the business, the owner of the organization. Complying with laws. There are a lot of regulatory laws now we need compliance. So, for example, you would like to invest on organic agriculture. There is that, what is that, zero amount of that type of the chemicals. There are a lot. No? Even the labeling, even the packaging, a lot. No? Moisture content, and so you need to comply with laws. And then the last one is development of the human power. So as a continuing process which need to be planned. There is all our skills are getting obsolete with what is that, the artificial intelligence. Now they're getting apps to replace human intelligence. We need to develop the human power, otherwise we'll be replaced with robots. So these are the importance of plan change. Next is, generally we have already discussed about importance of planning. I just got to go through about this other uh, ideas on why is there a need for planning. Helps achieve substantial long term goals. So even if you have a short term goal, you need to plan. How much more if you got a long term goal? I would like to become the, or you would like to become the Secretary of Department of Agriculture 10 years from now. You need to have a very good plan for that. Substantial long term goal increases satisfaction when agreed targets are met. So when you set an objective and you have attained the objective, you'll be satisfied. It will increase your satisfaction, the fact that you plan for that and you get the plan. Participative planning helps ensure efficient and just allocation of resources, and it could maximize achievements and minimize conflict so that there will be no overlapping of functions. So you need to plan out. Or there could be scarcity of resources, the fact that you're not able to take consideration of those. That's why you need planning. And participating planning could make do could well of that, because then people will be able to contribute their ideas. This will be able to consider different factors, different effects, or different aspects of the whole plan. Then program planning allows opportunities for involving the community in the process. We know that extension program process planning, it needs the local community to do it. And we need to have a formal planning because it will provide us the opportunity to involve the community in the process. Plans under documentation increase groups' ability to influence the community. It's not just, when we face the community about your plan, it's not just talking about the plan, but you could show them this is the plan, the written plan, no? To increase your ability to influence the community. They could see in the figures what will happen to the community if this plan will be implemented. And then a written plan helps ensure continuity of activities. Leaders may come and go. There will be election of officers. How would the next set of officers continue or know what are plans if these plans already been completed or to be continued? So your written plan helps ensure that the next group of leaders will have to continue these activities, and hopefully they will continue. Because Filipinos by nature would not like to continue the plan of the previous administration because it will not be they believe that it will not be credited to their name. But that is the very purpose of a written plan. Ensure continuity of activities. Why has China been able to finish the Great Wall? It has been done over 100 years, more than 100 years, and how many emperors have gone as they go as they construct this Great Wall of China. They're able to do that because they got a written plan, and their emperors are very committed to finish the Great Wall of China. Has it been in the Philippines? Maybe we got Great Wall part in Bohol or wherever. But that is what I'm emphasizing is it is a need or there is a need to have a written plan so that there will be continuation of activities. And the last one is it helps the group to explain its activities to visitors, new members, if you're going to recruit new members, and funding bodies, as I have already previously discussed. Okay, there are principles of program planning that we're going to consider to us to be effective in our plans. First is our programs or our projects should be problems and need based. Why are we doing a program or planning a program or project when they are not needed and they are not based on problems? So generally programs and projects are planned because we would like to solve a problem or to satisfy a need. So that's the first principle. We are going to uh, perform problem analysis so that we'll be able to identify these problems and needs. We have already discussed that. And that people will be able to participate and be able to prioritize themselves. They should be the one, the target area, the people in that area should be the one to prioritize what is the problem and the need. And that should be the basis for the program. It should be based on resource availability. What are the resources available in the community? For example, in the community, there is a very rich water resource. What plan or project be uh, could be planned? What program or project could be planned so as to capitalize on the water resource, available water resource in the community for tourism, for agriculture, whatever. So try to look at that resource ability. Why? Because that you have less funding then if you have already resources available or otherwise there will be a waste of resources when you do not know what are these available resources and you're not able to use these resources. The third is technology availability. As we have already discussed, your plan should be technology based. And if it will be technology based, it should be based on available technology. Otherwise, if the technology is still to be developed, then it will be very difficult to implement that plan based on that particular technology. So, what technology? What available technology? What are the factors that you need to consider? The technology should be first is globally competitive. It will not stand just the market in the Philippines, but even competitive with the market in with the product in Japan or whatever in the whole world. So globally competitive. It should be economic viable or economic viability means there is income, there is profit from that particular technology. Socially acceptable, people accepts it for their race, their religion, their beliefs, their culture. So it should be socially acceptable. Technically sound. There is already a huge data studies about it that it could really be implemented and it is effective. Environmentally friendly. This is very critical because many of the technologies, accordingly, if we try to look at the research results or reports, have actually distracted or destroyed the environment. So technology we need to look to consider should be environmentally friendly. That which will not what is that, disturb or destroy the environment. And it should be with political support. It should be with political blessings. It should be according to the objectives or the vision of the political system or the present administration. Next is availability of funding requirements and sources. We know already that many, if not all of our plans really need funding sources. So there should be available funding requirements and sources to be able to implement the plan. So that we need to consider that. We need also to consider that the committed, innovative, and aggressive planners who would do the plan, and then linkages and partnership. This is in this way we could get funding through linkages and partnership. There could be some assistance. There should could be some facilitation with our partnerships, no, among other stakeholders. For example, the government, there could be private sectors, other researchers or suppliers, buyers, and other producers. Coordination and cooperation. We need to know that there is no duplication of effort that will just be a waste of scarce resources. So we need to coordinate with other agencies, with other groups. That this activity is not a duplication of what they're doing already. So we could do coordination, cooperation. Eighth one is what I would like to emphasize this one: people first. What is people first? All programs must contribute to the development of people first and foremost. And that is the primary and ultimate consideration of any and all extension program and projects. What does that mean? The main foremost purpose of an extension program or project is for the development of people and not for the death or for the destruction of people. So if at all we would like to improve the environment, we would like to improve yield of crops or animals, quality of products, it is because we would like to improve human lives. And it is always the first and foremost consideration in making a program or a project. And the last one is project sustainability. So our program or our project will not just last until the finance lasts as well. But even when the program has already been terminated, the effect, the impact of the program or the project could still be felt in the community. And it will be the maintenance, the longevity, the the long-term effect of the project in the community that will be able to get the impact. So it should be sustained, means continuity and viability of the project. Okay, so those are the 9 principles when we are going to plan. Hopefully, we have to consider those in our plans. Okay, now let's go to the steps, the specific steps in planning. So we have identified the area and the people where you would like to do the plan for the plan for, and resource assessment. That is the situation analysis, problem identification and prioritization based on the assessment of the resources or the providing of the area. And then you're going to formulate objective. What is that you would like to attain based on the problem identified and the resources that have been assessed. Actions to be undertaken are the methodologies, your strategies, your techniques that you're going to implement so that you'll be able to attain the objective, solve the problem identified. So actions, strategies of implementation that's already include the work plan, and then identifying people to be involved who would be implementing the program or the project, the duration or the period covered for the implementation of the program or the project, and then how much budget needed and the source. Where are you going to get the budget? Okay, let's try to have it one by one. Identifying target area and people. So your plan should be able to address a specific area and people who would benefit. I would like to emphasize that. These are the people who would benefit. They will not be the one to be sacrificed, the sacrificial lamb, or that would be victimized. So these people, according to plan, should be the one to benefit of whatever result, whatever effect, whatever impact of the program. And even those who will implement and finance the program. So that is part of identifying target area and people. So we already discussed that the plan should focus on either on economic or you would like to be holistic, all of this one, but it could be specifically focused on economic, social, cultural, political, environmental concerns of the people. Okay, resource assessment, number two. So look at the resources of the community, which could either be human, physical, natural, and situational resources. Why? Because so that we will be able to know what are those that we need to be funded because these are not available in the community. So make use of whatever available resources in the community. Problem identification is we are we are going to focus no to target that problem because we would like to develop solutions to those recognized problems. And if there could be many problems and it's very hard to prioritize the problems, planners can use the following criteria. So first is how many people are affected by the problem. If there could be many and all of the people in the community will be are affected by the program, then that could be a priority program problem because everybody is affected by the problem. Effect of the problem. Is it a huge effect, a big effect? Uh, Many will be affected. So the extent to which the program could affect people. Extent of damage. If it is environmental, is it whole of the community or one half of the community or just one fourth of the community is damaged? So that could also be a consideration for the prioritization of the program. And then funding requirement. Okay, so is there available fund could be used to the program, or if you're going to solve this problem. Okay, another one is capability of people involved. Is there already expertise? Their skills, their ability to solve the problem for the implementers and both of the workers. So if there is none, maybe even if there's a very big problem and there could be no available a, a capability, then it would be a very difficult program to plan if you're going to prioritize that. So according to this prioritization, capability of the people involved, particularly implementers and the workers, would be a necessity, a requirement. Next is environmental safety always, and then the peace and order. So in prioritizing program, you could zero in or you could consider this different criteria. Fourth one is objective formulation. And we got specific examples. Many a times, I am requested to um, be a what is that evaluator of research proposals, extension proposals. Many times, I observe that they do not know how to make objectives. Many objectives are more activities than objectives. So I think the fact that this is a course in extension, I would like to overemphasize how to do, how to, what is that, construct objectives, attainable objectives, behavioral objectives, workable objectives. Okay, once you've already identified the problem, then you can now make your general objective. The problem is poverty. People there do not have food. There is food insecurity in the community, for example. So you could already identify your general problem, general objective to what is that? It is more on poverty. Okay, how are you going to make the objective on poverty, for example? So objectives must not only be smart, as you have already, I think, heard about the word smart, SMART, but there are already new terms now as smart tests. So you are going to add EST to smart. I do not know with Globe, but it's just the term smart. Specific, measurable, achievable, are for realistic, then time bound. Then E is it should be encouraging for both the implementers and the people who would be the end user of the plan, the output of the plan, and it should also be satisfying and transformative. There's change as a result of the plan. Plus, there should be cause and effect. Okay, so I repeat, your objectives must not only be smart but smartest, plus cause and effect. Okay, example. So we have here an example of an objective to conduct 5 training sessions in 2020. Okay, if you try to look at this 5 training session, we have to look at the cause, effect, and the output. Huh? So 5 is specific, it is measurable. 2020 is time bound. Okay. What others? Is there a cause or is there effect? Okay. This sample objective presents only the cause. Diba? Cause. Training session is the cause. And 5 is the indicator as to how many trainings to be conducted. But as to what will happen after the training sessions or with the training sessions, there is none. So there is no effect. Okay, do you have another example? To improve knowledge of 50 participants on monitoring and evaluation. For example, you got a program and you would like to improve the knowledge on monitoring and evaluation among 50 participants. So try to scrutinize this objective. This objective presents only the effect. That is, the effect is to improve knowledge on monitoring and evaluation up to how many? 50 participants. What's the cost? There is no cost. How would you improve the knowledge of 50 participants on monitoring and evaluation? So this is incomplete objective similar to the first objective. No? So to improve knowledge on M&E is the effect and the 50 trained participants is the output, but there is no cost. We already discussed there should be cost and effect. Okay, so let's try to look at this one. To improve knowledge, that is the effect, of 50 participants, which is the output, on monitoring and evaluation through the conduct of 5 training sessions, which is the cost. So this is a much complete, a better, uh, what is that? Development stop making of the objective. So the indicators, 5 training sessions and 50 participants are very important in the implementation. That is what you're going to evaluate later. How many training sessions that have been conducted, how many participants have attended, so that you could already that is measurable. And then what is the effect of these training sessions? Is to improve knowledge. So the training session is the cause, and the effect is to improve knowledge. And then to whom? To 50 participants. How many trainings? 5. So that you will know when to stop conducting the training course if you have conducted the 5 training sessions. Or otherwise, you would like to have more than the training sessions. It will be more than what has been. It's still acceptable, but not less than what has been expected.